This is Decoding Learning Differences with Kimberlyn Lavelle, and this episode is Finger Counting Freddy, a case study. So I've been doing these case studies this year, one every month, and I'm hoping to continue that throughout the year. And just to give you a picture of a particular child that I've worked with, the struggles that they had, and what we did to work through it. And it's all to give you some ideas, some inspiration, and some information about what's going on with different kids and what works. So, finger counting Freddy, and I've seen a lot of kids who are like this. I'm just thinking about one particular child as I'm telling these stories, but I'm always picking kids who are doing things that I see a lot. So, finger counting Freddy, when he's asked to add, say 5 plus 3, he always starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starts at 1 every time, and then adds on 3 more. And that can cause some problems because it means that he doesn't have a really strong number sense. So what do we do about that? How do we develop a better number sense where he can be a little more automatic in his adding and can have a better picture in his mind of what's happening mathematically? So first of all, ask questions. Things like, how many fingers are on that hand? 5? Great. So you know there's 5. You don't have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? But sometimes the problem with kids is that they aren't good at counting on. So I might be asking, what comes after 5? And if they don't know, or it's hard for them, or they have to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be able to say 6, then we have a counting on problem. So then this becomes all about practicing counting on. And this is a very important skill that a lot of people don't practice. They assume it. But most of the time when we have kids count, we have them start at 1 and go up from there. And then when we ask them what's 7 plus 2, we're surprised that they have to go back to 1 and get to 7 before they can count 2 more, instead of just saying 7, 8, 9. So, finger counting Freddy and numerous others, we've had to practice, explicitly, strategically practice counting on. Starting with, having them start, okay, start at 7. And then sometimes they can't get the rhythm right away. So you help them initially. 7, 8, 9. And then they've got a couple in their head so they can keep going. Right? And they keep going from there. Okay, stop. And then you're going to jump again. And you have to start doing bigger numbers, but start small. So when they get good at 4, 5, 6, right? Then you get into 32, 33, 34. Some of the hardest ones are the 39, 49, 59, 69. Knowing what comes after that can be really hard for a lot of kids. It's shocking how old some kids are that really still struggle with that because they never really internalized it and they haven't gotten enough practice with it. So practice counting on was a critical step with finger counting Freddy, numerous others I've worked with, and something I would suggest you do with your child if they are doing this. Also model it when you're, you can show them, 7 plus 2, 7, 8, 9. 7 plus 2 is 9, right? You're modeling how to count on. Explicit instruction. When you see 7 plus 2, start at 7 and just count on. So one thing that I usually teach my kids is put 7 in your head and count on. So 7, 8, 9. And they're counting on from wherever they started in their head. So it's kind of like a touch point, because otherwise some kids will go 7, 8, 7, 8, and then they'll say the 7 plus 2 is 8, because they needed to say 7 first. So if they say 7, 8, 9, that can help. Just a strategy that I use. And let me know if you have some strategies that you really like. Specific practice. So again, we are specifically practicing doing this. You're strategic about it. You've given that explicit instruction and you're saying, okay, when you're adding together today, I want to see you doing this. 7, 8, 9, right? Having that practice. Now, with Freddy and other kids, once we've done all of this, they do still use fingers because counting on fingers in itself is not actually a problem. The problem is when they're not using what they already know about numbers to be able to count on. So Freddy will still count with his fingers, but now he doesn't need to count on, doesn't need to start at 1, 5 plus 3 is now, he doesn't even need to hold up all fingers, right? He's able to just do 5, 6, 7, 8. And only use the extra part, the counting on part. So, takeaway for today, finger counting is not a problem unless it is demonstrating a lack of number sense. And then we need to do something about it, and there's some strategies that work, especially teaching and practicing counting on. So, learn how to teach your own struggling learner by emailing me, Kimberlyn, at decodinglearningdifferences.com, and we can have that conversation. I work with parents on how to teach their struggling learners to be more successful. I offer consulting and coaching and even like a hybrid tutoring system where I'm tutoring some and then teaching you how to tutor and giving you the reins to take over. I don't do long-term tutoring because it gets expensive, and I'm looking for how I can help you and help the most kids possible be successful. So that is my dream and my goal. Also, always email me to tell me stories. I love stories also. So again, email me, Kimberlyn, at decodinglearningdifferences.com. I can't wait to hear from you.